Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Given by His divine
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari. Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari. Vallabha Girivardhari. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajapacharya Ashtatra Shatashi Marizvanga Sesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivajapacharya Ashtatra Shatashi Marizvanga Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. So we don't have a verse on the board. Chapter 22. If you look back to the right top. Yeah. Yeah, 22:7. Oh, he's doing something in there. Canto 4, entitled Creation of the Fourth Order, Chapter 22, Prithu Maharaj means with the 4 Kumaras. We're on text 7. I just gotta grab some real quick, sorry. Farm? I could give you the number of the devotee who lives there, Mukunda Charan. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Pritturavacha Aho Archaritam Kim Me Mangalam Mangalayanaha Yasivo Darshanam Yas Asid Durdashanam Chayogi Vihi Pritturavacha Aho Archaritam Kim Me Mangalam Mangalayanaha Yasivo Darshanam Yasasid Durdashanam Chayogi Bihi Pritturvacha Aho Acharitam Kim Me Mangalam Mangalayanaha Yasyavo Darshanam Yasid Durdashanam Chayogi Bihi Pritturvacha Okay. Word by word. Translation. Pritturvacha, King Prithu spoke. Aho, O Lord, our Charitam, practice. Kim, what? Me, by me. Mangalam, good fortune. Mangala Ayanaha, O personified good fortune. Yasya, by which. Vaha, your. Darshanam, audience. He, certainly. Asit, became possible. Durdarshanam, visible with great difficulty. Cha, Also, yogibihi, by great mystic yogis. Translation. King Prithu spoke, "My dear great sages, auspiciousness personified, it is very difficult for even the mystic yogis to see you. Indeed, you are very rarely seen. I do not know what kind of pious activity I perform for you to grace me by appearing before me without difficulty." Purport. When something uncommon happens in one's progressive spiritual life, it should be understood to be incurred by agatu sukriti, or pious activities beyond one's knowledge. To see personally the Supreme Personality of Godhead or His pure devotee is not an ordinary incident. When such things happen, they should be understood to be caused by previous pious activity. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 7, Text 28, Isham Twantakatam Papam Jananam Pundikarmanam. One who is completely freed from all resultant actions of sinful activities and who is absorbed only in pious activities can engage in devotional service. While the Maharaj Prithu's life was full of pious activities, he was wondering how his audience with the Kumaras happened. He could not imagine what kind of pious activities he had performed. This is a sign of humility on the part of King Prithu, whose life was so full of pious activities that even Lord Vishnu came to see him and predicted that the Kumaras would also come. Om Gyanativedandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshunan Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karidavachalam Pangam Mangaite Girim Yakripatamaham Vande Shri Gurundiditarinam Vancha Kapadribishta Kripa Sindhube Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauda Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Translation again. King Prithu spoke, "My dear great sages, auspiciousness personified, it is very difficult for even the mystic yogis to see you. Indeed, you are very rarely seen. I do not know what kind of pious activity I perform for you to grace me by appearing before me without difficulty." Try. So Prithu Maharaj wasn't thinking that, oh, I'm such a great personality that look at all my pious activities, and yes, therefore the Kumaras, it's no surprise that the Kumaras came to me and appeared before me, or it's no surprise Lord Vishnu appeared to me because I'm so pious. He was humble, and he didn't think he was performing any pious activities, although his whole life was full of pious activities. So that's a good mood to be in, that not thinking that, oh, why isn't Krishna appearing before me? Why isn't Krishna, why isn't Krishna dancing before me? We should think that, well, what is my qualification? Why should Krishna come before me? I've neglected Krishna for the last however many lives, so many lives, so why should Krishna automatically just come before me and dance? So that's a good mood to be in. And then Krishna likes that. And just as Prithu Maharaj, he got the darshan of Krishna, Krishna came, the Kumaras came. Similarly, if we develop such moods, Krishna will appear to us. Not that if we demand, like, oh, Krishna, I've done so many pious things, I'm such a good guy, such a good lady, please appear before me. It doesn't work like that. So we have to become free from sinful activities. So that's part of the message this morning. And some of you may have been there, but I don't think any of you are there. But maybe somebody's watching via the camera, and they may have been there. But Mukunda Charna gave a class at the Krishna Lounge on Thursday, and he wore a shirt. And a few devotees were upset because the shirt said organic vodka on it. Yeah. he was wearing that shirt, but he did it on purpose, for the purpose of the talk, But during the kirtan, because I told him, you should wear the sweater, and then, you lead people into it. What you're about to do, you lead people into, oh yeah, somebody donated this shirt and this and that. You kind of, and then you take off your sweater, then, you show them your shirt. But he took his sweater off during the kirtan. And there was, a few specifically, anyways, a few people who are they're not absolutely, you could say, fond of him, they saw his shirt, oh, organic, and they got all disturbed. They come up to me, oh, he's wearing a vodka shirt, But anyways, he was just making the point that not everything you get as a gift from everyone is necessarily useful. And it may be just not useful for anybody. Just like that organic vodka shirt. It wasn't useful for him. Vodka, drinking alcohol, liquor. Yeah, that's what Lavanga said. She said you could wear it as pajamas, but he said he didn't even want to do that, So it was just, it was useless for him, and it was useless for others. He didn't think it was good that anybody wore that, because you're like a billboard for vodka. You're inspiring people, hey, drink this vodka, right? But it said, the shirt, the brand was American Harvest. That was the brand, and then it said organic vodka, below. So, anyways, he went into this talk, and he said that he felt that people weren't appreciating. He thought everyone was like glaring at him, Imagine you're giving a talk and everybody's Mukunda Charna at the Krishna Lounge. So, but I thought it was a good point what he was bringing up, that not everything we give as a gift is good. It's not like automatic, like, oh, I should keep it and hold on to it. And but it was interesting because he said an Indian man gave it to him. Anyways, whatever. I'm not trying to poke too much fun at, but it is funny because he gave it to him for Makara, what is it? Yeah, Makar Sakranti, which has to do with the sun and movements of the sun, and it's a big festival in India. Bring out the kites and everything, and somehow or other, the idea is you give cloth to saintly people. That's one of the principles. You give cloth to saintly people, give a little donation, a little cloth to a saintly person, like a dhoti or chadar. And also somehow or other you give them a little sesame seed, sesame seed, in jaggery, sweet, a little ball, ladu. And by the way, on a side note, as Bajranayan Swami says, on a side note, Makar Sakranti, that was when Juhu Temple opened up. It was the 46th anniversary recently. So anyways, this Indian man, he went to the farm, and he gave a donation to the cows, and he gave some bananas to the cows, right, as a pious thing, and he gave cloth to a saintly person, the Kunacharna, and that cloth happened to be American Harvest organic vodka T-shirt. Anyways, whatever. Maybe the guy didn't look at it because it was in a, it was. It was in a package, and then it said American Harvest, so I don't think he looked at it. So. Yeah. So similarly, in that light, we didn't. Similarly, in that light, I was talking with Kunacharna the other day, and I was telling him how I also got a T-shirt recently. And we were, You'll see right now. So, and I was telling him that I was telling him what I was going to do on Saturday morning, which I'm going to do soon, like in the next few minutes. And he was saying, oh, really? And oh, that's weird because I had a similar idea. And, we're on the same wavelength, so I said, okay. But he thought about it before me. But anyways, I didn't copy it from him. So part of the message today that I'm going to say to all of you is that it happens to be on the shirt that I'm wearing right now. So I'll show you that shirt. And anyways. If you want, you can. But it's up to you. It's a good message. I think everybody will like it. It's Krishna conscious. It's not, organic vodka. See it? Yeah. Yeah. And guess who made this up? Dravida Prabhu made this up. Yeah. Bod means body.
Bod. You know the bod? You're in SanDiego, you know what bod is? Okay, we're good.
Chant Hare Krishna. See? You see it?
Do I get one?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good message. We're because that's Dravida Prabhu's, some of his. What would you call this?
That's a bonmot. Bonmot means a nice little word, a short word, short saying.
Yeah, bonmot. So bonmot, short saying. Yes. Nothing in the back. Bonmot, yeah. Short saying. So yeah, it says, don't sin, you can't win. Love God, not the bod, which means body. Love God, not the bod. Chant Hare Krishna, right? So, we're thinking about the other one, which is good too. He came up with, sense pleasures a dream. Krishna supreme. The aim is prem, the way is the name. So that's a good one too. Anyways. So, all right, what happened is my friend, he's actually a fellow who comes by here, a nice guy who comes by, his name's Alex. So he works in El Cajon, and he happens to work at a t-shirt place. So I told him, because I wanted to make a t-shirt for my mother. And the t-shirt is because somehow or other she has people telling her she says she's at a public venue or something, and then she's waiting for my sister to get out of the bathroom, and then some official worker comes up to her and says, "Oh, excuse me, lady, you got to go sit down, And she goes, "No, I'm waiting for my daughter. It'll just be a minute." No, you got to go sit down. And then my mother, because she feels these people are kind of getting a little bit too, pushy with her, she tells people, "Hey, don't tell me what to do, Don't tell me what to do." That's the saying. Don't tell me what to do. So then I was joking with her because somehow or other she says that to people, at times. And then I was joking with her. I said, "I'm going to make you a t-shirt, So I made it, "Don't tell me what to do," to pink and all that. So, but also as similar, we thought we would make this shirt. Yeah. So, yeah. And the guy gave us a good discount. So if you ever want t-shirts made, anybody wants Krishna t-shirts made, or you could write some more. I mean, it was a really good price. He gave a 30% discount. So two shirts we got custom made for $20. It's pretty good, including the t-shirt, everything, $20. So, yeah. So, anyways, all right. So, but yeah, this is a good point that don't sin. We can't win means we're not going to win in life, performing sin. And sin means, against the laws of God, against the laws of nature, against the, you could say, principles of just reality. And we just can't win. It's just not going to work. People think that, by engaging in certain activities, I'm going to win, I'm going to enjoy, I'm going to be happy. It doesn't really work. Why? Because it's just against our nature. It just doesn't. It's not. So don't sin, you can't win. Love God, right? So this is what Prithu Maharaj is doing. He's not sinning. And by him not sinning, he's becoming pious. He's becoming good-hearted, good-natured. And from that piety the Gatu Sukriti, what happens? He gets the darshan of the 4 Kumaras. They come. These 4 eternal, they're eternal, right? Eternal? Yeah. The Kumaras? No, they're not. Okay. They live a long time. Okay. The 4 Kumaras, these 4 sage brahmacharis who have amazing power. The power being that they stopped themselves from getting old. It's amazing. I mean, they could travel everywhere. I mean, everybody would love that power if they could, not become old. They would immediately do it. Stop aging now. You get an advertisement. So people would love that, but it's not so easy. But they're able to do it. Amazing. Like Tamal Krishna Goswami, one time I think he would tell this little girl in Dallas or Houston, little devotee girl, parents, daughter of a devotees, and he would say, whatever her name was, Radhika or something, he'd say, "Okay, Radhika, now you're 10 years old, so I don't want you have to stop aging now. You shouldn't become any older, And then he came back a few years later, or he saw her 3 years later or something, he said, "Hey, Radhika, I told you not to age. What happened? What are you doing? I told you not to do that. You're disobeying the orders of the spiritual master." Right? So by that piety that Prithu Maharaj was engaging in, loving Krishna, engaging in pious activities, he was fulfilling, you could say, the mission of life. And he was getting the greatest thing, the association of sages, association of Krishna. And yeah, he was, when it says, not the bod, don't love the body. So it means that, okay, we all have body necessities. We have to eat, obviously. We have to sleep. We have to exercise. We have to do so many things to upkeep the body, or else it just completely falls apart. I don't even want to tell you some of the stories of people who do not take care of themselves, like, bathing and stuff. It's just really horrific. So we won't get into those details, but things could look really ugly over time. Just not even bathing. Just imagine not bathing for anyways, really bad. So exercising, it's all important. These things are important because these are, body's property of Krishna. But when it says don't love the body, means that don't completely become attached, absorbed, addicted with the body, with upkeep of the body, the serving the body, the whims of the body. And then, of course, chant Hare Krishna. So Prithu Maharaj may have had a completely different process, which I believe he did because it was so long ago. But the process that we've been given in this particular time we're in, Kali Yuga, it is the process of chanting Hare Krishna, which is a very wonderful process, in that it completely, you could say, attracts one, and it completely absorbs one in Krishna over time, if it's done properly. And by doing this, by engaging in chanting Hare Krishna, by engaging in devotional service, then just as Prithu Maharaj got the blessing of seeing the Kumaras, seeing Krishna, similarly we can. And we should be confident of this. And if we're not confident of this, that means we're in Maya. No. If we're not confident of this, that means that we need to focus more on the goal. It means we need to understand the goal, what the goal is. Like I read a quote the other day, I don't know who wrote the quote, but it says that those who are confident of the goal can be patient. Means the confident of the outcome. You know what the goal is going to be, so you can be patient. If you're not sure what the goal is going to be, then it's kind of difficult being patient, because is this really worth it? Am I wasting my time? Right? Should I be doing something else with my life? I don't really... Like if you know that by engaging in a business scheme, for sure, without a doubt, you will not lose money, but you will gain billions of dollars. You'll be very confident that, okay, I'll engage in this. You're not going to be worrying, struggling, worrying, is this going to work out, is this not going to work out, right? You know that it's going to give the result. So similarly, if we become confident that, yes, I know what the goal is and I know that I'm going to get it if I just keep on going, then we're able to be patient, which is important because Krishna consciousness isn't like a, modern or postmodern, fast food chain or something. You just, go through the line in the fast food joint and you get Krishna consciousness, something delivered to you. It takes time. So therefore, we have, right, Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. So Sambandha, the knowledge, who am I, what is this world, the fundamental principles of Krishna consciousness. And then you have the process to engage in, right, sadhana bhakti. And then you have the goal, which is Krishna prema, love for Krishna. So if we become more familiar with the goal and more, you could say, inspired or attached or convinced of the goal, then it's okay. We may have to wait, but that's not a problem because, we know it's there. But if we start becoming doubtful, I'm not really sure, and is it going to work, or then it could be very difficult. Therefore, Arjuna says, right in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, please kill these doubts, and he calls them Madhusudan, right? Because he is killer of the Madhu, the Madhu demon, Madhu and Kaitaba, right? So Madhusudan Prabhu, he has this really nice letter from Srila Prabhupada, where, anyways, maybe he'll be listening, so he could tell us on Sunday or something. But I don't think I could repeat it nicely, but I don't know if I should try. It was written probably in the early days, early, because eventually I think he stopped writing to him over time, because Prabhupada was a bit more busy. But it's something that if you have to follow my instructions. He's telling them, or there's nothing that Madhusudan can do, which means Krishna, or there's nothing that Madhusudan's father can do, which means Prabhupada. So, something like that. So, anyways, but the point is that we have to become convinced. And we become convinced when we start developing more piety. That's how we become convinced, actually. Because when there's too much lower modes, it's very difficult to become convinced. But through hearing the Bhagavatam, hearing Hare Krishna, therefore there's so much stress. Hear. You have to hear every day. Try our best to hear. And then our heart become more cleansed, and then we become more convinced, and then it'll be easier for us. That's the thing. We naturally we want things to be easy. We don't want things to be too difficult. And Krishna consciousness will be easy if we become more convinced. So this is what Prithu Maharaj is displaying here. He's displaying the right mood of humility. Who am I to see Krishna? But still, Krishna came to him because he was so pious. Similarly, we should try to develop that piety and not demand Krishna to come to us, but he could come to us when he's pleased. So, all right, does anybody have any questions or comments?
It seems like if Krishna just made it a little easier for us to see him, then we would get fired up quicker. And I don't know. I was thinking like that.
Yeah.
He makes it pretty difficult.
The real question is, how can we remedy this wrong conception?
So, there's this... it's not that Krishna's, what do you call that? Is it a sadist or a sadist?
A sadist, yes.
Yeah, sadist. Yeah, one who takes pleasure in other people's pain. So it's not like Krishna's in the spiritual world and he's like, yeah, I'm going to make the process of bhakti very difficult. And all these struggling souls, they're going to be struggling just to get my mercy and go back to Godhead. I'm going to take pleasure when I'm seeing them suffering. So it's not that Krishna's doing it. He's not like a sadist or something. He's not like the supreme sadist in the spiritual world, right? Taking pleasure in people's pain. But it's difficult because, as we've heard so many times, right? We have so much conditioning. It's not easy to get free from conditioning from so many lifetimes. Even this lifetime, you just analyze the conditioning. Don't analyze it too much, though. But, you could say, oh, well, if Krishna appeared before me, it'd be a lot easier, right? I'd be inspired. Oh, hey, Krishna's there. No doubts, no confusion, right? But, Krishna does appear before us regularly. Actually, appears before us every day. What is this sun shining here? That's Krishna. What is, the ability in man or woman, right? That's Krishna. What is prasadam? It's Krishna. What is the holy name? It's Krishna. So all these things are Krishna. So Krishna is appearing before us every day. But, of course, Radha Giridhari, Krishna's appearing. In the form of devotees, I think I read a shloka the other day. I forgot where I read it. It said that, Bhagavatam or... It said that your devotees, they appear, I think I might have read ahead in this chapter, but your devotees appear, and he says, they're forms of Krishna. Of course, not absolutely Krishna, but in the form of devotees, it says in the form of devotees, I think it was 11th canto, in the form of your devotees, you're traveling throughout the universe, delivering the conditioned souls. So Krishna's appearing, but sometimes we can't see, so clearly, so it's difficult for us to perceive. But just the idea of, like in kirtan or whatever it may be, in our spiritual practices, say Krishna appears, and that is that higher taste. We're getting the higher taste. Krishna's giving us a higher taste. So he's giving us a taste. So that's the idea that from that taste we get encouragement to continue. If it was so miserable and like such a struggle, then no one would continue with it. So there are little struggles here and there, but because there's that taste, it encourages us to continue. Now, of course, to see Krishna, that would be very inspiring. Who will argue that? And it said that after Mahaprabhu's initiation by Ishvara Puri, right? Ishvara Puri? He saw Krishna, the darshan of Krishna, but then what happened? Krishna disappeared. And then he was searching for Krishna, transcendental madman. So you could say in some ways that's kind of what happens to people when they join the Hare Krishna movement. They get a glimpse of Krishna, a form of Krishna, kirtan, this, that. And then they kind of forget about other things. They're ready to give up their, like, young men who join the ashram. They're ready to give up this, ready to give up that. What all young men would normally be interested in. They're ready to give those things up because they got a glimpse of Krishna. So, but also the 6 Goswamis, they were in the mood not like, I saw Krishna, but they're always looking for Krishna, right? Hey Radhe Vajadeva Ke Chalalite, hey Nanda Suna, right? Where is Krishna, the son of Mother Nanda Maharaj, where the gopis? They're always looking. They're not feel like, I saw Krishna. So that's a good mood. That's our mood, actually. So, So does any? But Devamrita Swami, he has this really great book. It's called Bhakti Bhava. It's a small book, and it's a collection of transcribed lectures from Russian and Ukraine festival, which they said are like 3,000 devotees there, 5,000 devotees. One in Russia, 3,000, one 5,000 in Ukraine, something like that. A lot of devotees. He goes there They have it every year. So that book is amazing, actually, because he really analyzes devotees, like psychology and how devotees think, and then he addresses that in these lectures. So he was bringing that up, like Krishna being like sadist or something. He's not that, because the same point he was discussing. He was also discussing, because I looking at this recently, he said that sometimes people, they think that, okay, well, what I'm doing, in other words, like forms of Maya that people engage in, they think, oh, well, it will become Krishna conscious later, but it's just not Krishna conscious now, but it will become Krishna conscious. And he gave an example that he said that one of his godbrothers, who was a younger man, had some attraction to a woman who happened to be older than him, quite older, not like real old, but a considerable amount. And sometimes that's an issue. And you know why it's an issue? Is because someone's attracted to someone who's older, okay, fine, but then he gets a little older, and then she gets a little older, but she's already kind of old, so then he loses attraction to her, right? That's a problem, and then he'll be attracted to somebody else. Yeah. So they were telling him that, like, hey, you shouldn't do this, but still, the desires were there, and then he married her. Because the point was brought up that he came downstairs one day and all his brahmachari cloth was like washed and folded and ironed, and he said, "Oh, who did this?" And he realized it was this one. So, but then later it became a problem, and there was a younger girl, a new bhaktin. She happened to be a new bhaktin. I mean, nothing against new bhaktins or something, but apparently Devamrita Swami says that devotees, now of course he said he didn't agree with this, but he was just telling the history, and I don't agree with you. I mean, I don't refer to anybody like this or anything like that, but he said that the brahmacharis got a nickname for this young brahmacharini that this man who was married to this older woman who's getting attracted to, and they called her EJ. You know what EJ stands for? Easy Journey to Hellish Planets. Anyways. So, yeah, part of the book. So, and of course, Maharaj was saying, that's what they called her. He's just, because she was, whatever, attractive, this and that. So, the point being is that he became attracted to her, this girl. And the devotees told her that, hey, he's married, you shouldn't do this isn't right, and she goes, well, what can I do? It's my heart, my feelings. I feel for this person. And she says, I know it's not Krishna conscious now, but it could be in the future. So yeah, it's interesting that, she invested all of her emotions in this thing that was just wrong. And then she's saying, oh, later it could turn into something good, but it's not really a good policy. Anyways, I read that today. I thought it was an interesting point. So he goes into so many things like that, really amazing. And like you're saying, Krishna appearing before us, so many things like that. So it's a very wonderful book you could read. Okay, you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, just as far as the whole question about being able to see God, see Krishna. What do we do once we do see him? I mean, if he actually came and appeared to us in his original form and all this, it's like, yeah, we'll be really fired up and excited about it in the beginning. But after some time, I think that the tendency is that we would probably become bored or have the attitude of, oh, yeah, I'm good now. I got my confirmation, he's there, and then move along. But it speaks about in the Shastra, you have to forgive me, I can't pinpoint the verses, but it talks about how the devotee in his heart should always long to have the darshan of the Lord. And due to not having it, it strengthens that, that desire to have this association. And I believe that it also works in contrast, whereas if you actually had it, the desire after some time would wane. And, it's like, then where will you be? You become bored and seeking something else to fulfill that, and what's left? Maya. So, I'm just saying that, that the devotees should have that feeling in their heart that they want to see and be with Krishna, but so long as, Krishna remains, in his deity form, in the form of prasadam, etc., then we continue to have that longing, and we will continue to strive to be with him.
Try. All right. You want to pass the mic back? Yeah, there's a principle of separation because, like the cowherd boys are separated from Krishna at times, the gopis are separated from Krishna. So, yeah, if you're always with Krishna, sometimes the separation is also part of the program.
Yeah, exactly. Like when Narada Muni in his previous life, Vishnu appeared before him, and then he told him, right, this is for this lifetime. This is all you'll see.
Yeah.
This is the only time you'll see me, and it's to increase your desire to see me again. So there's that side of it too.
Yeah. All right. Try. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.